Right, so for the last time, DRVB agency, HR director Mrs. Tuffer for a job as account manager. Got my presentation, age, studies, previous experience, Air France and the ad agency. What have I learnt from it? Precision and diplomacy, a success. Competition analysis, a failure. The Jones Show. I'll try and guide her on it. What I learnt, my assets, my defects. Oh yes, a question on the company and one on the job. Yes, some growth prospects, okay. And of course, salary. Okay, let's go.
Right, Eric Wright. Okay, his CV, his letter, nice handwriting. Has experience in an agency. Okay. Air France. If he's on time, he should be here soon. Brochure, organisation chart. Okay. Everything's here. It's okay, but it's not really super clean. I should speak to Greg the next time we talk about maintenance. Ah, yes, my mobile. Hi Sandra, I'll transfer my line onto yours. I'm seeing a candidate.
Okay, if it's Eric Wright, reception just called. He's downstairs.
Oh, that's great. Super. Okay. Did they offer you a coffee?
Yes, thanks.
Great. Please take a seat.
Thanks.
If you want to take notes, you can use the desk.
Thanks.
Right. My name is Helen Tuffer, in charge of human resources, and I will do the preliminary interviews for this account manager job. First of all, thank you very much for answering our ad. Your CV looked very interesting.
Thanks.
This first interview will last 45 minutes. Our goal is to understand if you are going to flourish in this role. I say our goal because we have to choose each other. This is why at the beginning I will ask you to present yourself, then we can talk in detail about some of the points in your history, and then I will present our agency and the job. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Excellent. I'm all ears.
I'm 24. I'm from London, where I've done all my studies. In secondary school, I took business and administration. I wanted to study something practical and in touch with the world of business, although I did not know exactly what I was going to do later. Then, during sixth form, I met some advertising execs. That was during a seminar in school. They described their work and I found it fascinating. After my A-levels, I took a communications BA. The course was short and very practical, which went well with my temperament. In all, 2 years between theory and work experience.
So you did work experience at Air France. How is that related to sales?
It was a summer placement as steward. I wanted to develop my sense of contact, of communication. It was very useful. I was very shy. I also learnt that being useful within a team requires personal initiative, as well as respect for the manager's instructions. This will be very useful in any kind of job.
And last year you worked as an assistant account manager. What were you doing in practice?
I assisted the account manager. I was in charge of production, scheduling and of competitive analysis. I have it here if you want.
Thanks. Okay, and what did you learn from that experience?
Well, that advertising is not just creativity, but also reliability in logistics.
Meaning?
Well, each stage of production is very difficult. Deadlines are very short and one must always ensure that that printed documents fit the initial project. I had to be very careful and exacting with the print shop manager. I had to be diplomatic. I had to ask him to redo a round of proofs that was not good enough. He had 20 years' experience and I was on my first job, you know?
And everything went well?
Oh yes. Everything came out on time and with no mistakes. At the beginning, the printing manager yelled at me. Then in the end, he admitted I'd been rather conscientious. He spoke to the agency's director, who offered me a temporary contract as substitute for an ad manager on maternity leave.
Right, so during this temporary contract you had more experience?
Yes, I was very much in contact with the customer, and I participated in the campaign's elaboration much before production.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned organising a cultural sponsorship. Did that happen?
Well, in fact, I was working for the garden plants group, and I was supposed to propose some sponsorships,
Mm-hmm.
but in the end it didn't happen.
How is that?
Actually, I proposed to my client Garden Plants to sponsor the Jones show. But it was an obvious match with horticulture. So, I organised a meeting between the show organisers and Garden Plants. We worked on a sponsorship project with their marketing director. We spent quite a bit of time on the project. In the end, we presented it to the show, and they had to decline because they were getting funds from the city, so they could not be sponsored by our customers.
Mm-hmm. And you only learned this after proposing it to your client?
Yes. In fact, nobody thought about that. But I should have considered and checked this issue. In the end, we wasted a lot of time and the client had to make do with a press campaign.
And what did this experience teach you?
Well, that good ideas are not always feasible. You can have them, but not commit to them without checking their technical and legal feasibility. And this is what the account manager is for.
And on a personal level, how did you feel about this setback?
Well, it was sobering. At the beginning it was a bit hard, but at least neither the director nor the client held it against me. This made me work twice as hard. For example, I really threw myself into the organisation of the opening. So, I contacted caterers, asked for quotes, which I sent to the client. I called a landscape specialist who gave plenty of gardening tips. The director of Brighton Flowers came and showed his rare plant specimens. My manager and the client were very happy. In fact, the first day's sales were twice the expectations.
Right. So what are your assets?
Well, I think I'm interested in the world around me. My friends say I'm enthusiastic. I also like to finish what I'm doing. And I'm quite tenacious.
And your defects?
My defects are in a way the same as my assets. I want to do everything, so I take on too much responsibility. And at times my tenacity is seen as stubbornness by the people around me.
Right. OK, thanks. Now I will present our agency and the job. I assume you know the agency?
DRVB is well known for its very original campaigns above and below the line.
That's right. So I'll give you a brochure. Ours is an independent agency. We're growing. Our turnover and personnel has doubled in 2 years. We're 35 now. We manage budgets in every industry, and our market are indeed innovative brands that want to build an image that breaks the mould. OK, so if you look at the brochure, you'll see the most prominent campaigns.
Oh yes, it's very clearly positioned. And what client are you recruiting for?
The team we're recruiting for manages the budget of IAKA, an international furniture and interior decoration brand that I'm sure you know. It's our biggest and oldest client. The junior account manager will work with the senior account and also with the agency's director, who continues to keep an eye on this historical client. It's a very high-profile job, but also very desirable. It also gives the possibility of managing major projects. We manage 2 direct campaigns per year, we supervise their catalogue, and we manage all their below the line. Do you know what I mean by below the line?
Yes. It's all communication aside from press, TV, radio and posters. Notably direct marketing, merchandising, point of sales, internet, partnership, sponsorships.
Exactly. And for this client, this is over 40% of the budget, so most of the time the junior account manager will be devoted to production.
Yes, that's the operational side of account management, the one most in touch with the customers and the real world. And what is the structure of the agency?
I made you a chart. You can keep it. Of the IAKA group, actually. So the junior account manager works under the senior account manager, reporting hierarchically to the group manager, but considering the size of the budget, the director is still in charge of operations. Our finance department is involved with budget management on a daily basis, so a junior account manager has a corresponding person in accounting with whom he works every day.
And what is the relationship between the senior account manager and the junior account manager?
The difference is not really of job description. Rather, it's a matter of responsibility. The junior account manager has responsibility for writing customer documentation, competition analysis and reports, under the direct supervision of the senior account manager.
And is the junior account manager in contact with the creative process?
Of course, he must follow this up from the technical point of view to ensure that the final product matches the customer's brief.
OK. And what career development can a junior account manager hope for in your agency?
Account managers move a lot between teams to allow them to gain more experience. A newcomer can expect to become a senior account manager in 3 years. However, considering the importance of this role and its visibility to the director, this one is a difficult job, but if well executed, it will allow the manager to grow more quickly.
So it's a demanding and high-growth job?
Yes, this is how we see human resources. Jobs are very versatile to allow talent to emerge and to allow the best people to evolve through their results. So, about compensation, what are your expectations?
Considering the job and my experience, £20,000 per year. Does this match your expected offer?
Yes, if we consider base salary, bonus and profit sharing, we pay out some profit sharing every year and is not negligible. It should be possible, but I cannot commit on this. Our director is the one who will decide based on the chosen candidate's profile and of the budget for this account. Do you have any other questions?
No. I think I have all the elements.
So, apart from the pay elements I mentioned, I can mention that account managers are of course reimbursed for all live costs when they're on the road. There is £5 per day lunch allowance, use of a mobile phone with 4 hours per month, and a laptop computer. We have 3 company cars for work-related travel, but sometimes the managing director allows salespeople to use them in the evening or in the weekend.
Many thanks for this info.
Right. Well, I'll be meeting the other candidates before the end of the week. The chosen candidates will be invited to a second interview with the managing director and the senior account manager. In any case, I will call you early next week to let you know our decision.
You're mentioning other meetings. Do you think I have a chance?
I will call you no matter what we decide.
OK.
Hi, Sandra. Leave my forwarder on another 15 minutes.
Okay.
I'll write down my notes, okay?